About 15 years ago, a bunch of guys met playing World of Warcraft and continued to game together over the years. These men got married, had kids, but still managed to play games together. Today, they are still gamers, and they survive by squeezing in the little time they have when they can. A nostalgic shift to the past has brought forth a D&D campaign. If you're bored, and there's literally nothing else on, then maybe you can watch PEBKAC.
All right. So this is the inaugural D&D session for the PEBKAC Crew. We're
Yes.
Oh my god!
What? Yeah.
Someone's just
Yes.
pouring. Good lord.
Is that you, Trig?
This is so good.
I'm calling this D&D branch of the PEBKAC PEBCSAC. Problem exists between character sheet and keyboard. And chair. Sorry. Problem exists between character sheet and chair. And we are playing a campaign that I've written called The Cry of Zombone. So, a little bit of backstory here on what we're dealing with. So this is kind of...
Am I going to be able to pee out of my garage door? Or am I going to go to the bathroom side?
Which door? Is it the wrong screen?
Is it the door of the screen?
No, yeah, you can see.
You just have to step out of the door.
No.
Oh my god.
You have to use the facilities like a normal human.
All right. So I'm Sean. I'm the DM, and we have been playing together video games for about 20 years. A couple of us went to high school together. A couple of us are related. All sorts of interesting shit there. So I'm going to read through the background I've written for this campaign, and then we're going to have everyone kind of introduce their characters. All right. So the Cry of Zombone. Legend says that it was a dark... Oh, sorry. Nope. Fuck, it doesn't say that. Legend says that it was during a night of heavy drinking that the gods had the brilliant idea to create another world. After the last one went so terribly, they swore never again. But through bleary eyes and hangover headaches, the gods looked over the results of last night's binge, and there it was. The sun was shining over this brand new world, and so the gods figured that they may as well make the best of it. Temperance, named as yet another reminder to themselves that they really needed to fucking dial it back, was a mess. As one might expect, having been hobbled together in a fit of drunken laughter, rage, awkward flaccid sex, and crying, the world made very little sense.
I like the flaccid sex.
Yeah, been there.
Dan's like, that's relatable.
Yeah.
I was there about 20 minutes ago. All right, deserts were in the north and south. A ring of ice like a bedazzled belt around the middle, and then a mix of deep forest, crystalline fields, and icy tundra, not so much placed carefully throughout, but more seemingly vomited forth, like a post-drunken burrito Jackson Pollock misadventure.
So good.
And so they set about trying to fix it as best they could. Caligula liked the ice along the middle, but Francis argued that it was crazy. So they compromised and made the equator cold and the world warming as it moved toward the poles. Neither as chillingly cold nor terribly hot as before, but enough to satisfy Caligula. Mao thought that the life cycle of everything hovering around a sitcom half-hour was reasonable, but Aquinas just flat fucking refused.
Thomas Aquinas.
Thomas, you guys.
Aristotle stepped in to suggest a reasonable array, with the shit no one cares about living for just a little while to the shit everyone cares about living a damn long time. Kincaid wanted all the landscape to be wiped away and replaced with pastels and soft lights, but Hillary rightly saw that it would just make everyone fucking crazy. So when Bush stepped up and suggested a mix of light and darkness warring against each other throughout the natural world, they went with it. And so there were forests that were light and bright, and some that were dark and hid evil things. There were deserts that were painted in all the beautiful hues of a late summer's sunset, and some that were muted, mustard yellow and gray, and the sand always immediately got in your pants and rubbed your thighs raw. You get the idea.
Love it.
So, Mao made the orcs, Aristotle the humans, Aquinas the dragonborn, Kincaid the halflings, Francis the elves, Caligula the tieflings, Hillary the dwarves, and Bush, also one of the elves, but didn't realize that Francis has already called it, tried to muscle it in anyways, and ended up with a drow. That's a fucking lot. There's a fucking lot more, but it gets super complicated. In the end, they realized that they had kind of effed this whole thing. So they had as they had so many times before, and so they set out to provide the world with a little bit of help to maybe, just maybe, pull this whole thing together. So each god provided the races with an emblem of their quote-unquote intelligence and power that would provide insight and protection to their people. Bush wanted to give them all friendship bracelets, and Mao called him a bell end. Francis heard this and wisely offered the notion that each race could be given a massive bell, hence the bell end, to be put into the houses of worship that the races would build for them. The chimes ringing out from the bells in times of need would bring the attention of these gods, and then as far as the bells were heard, their protection and aid would ring out over their people. Look, it sounded great. But it got really fucking annoying to have all these bells ringing all the damn time, so eventually it was agreed that they would restrict these bells to holy days and times of intense need. But now the bells have one by one stopped ringing, and death and darkness is starting to creep out of the hidden places of temperance. The bells must be found again and returned to their ordained place, or their ordained places, or temperance will perish. So just run through the gods, because I did these kind of different gods. Mao is the god of death. Aristotle of knowledge, Aquinas of life, Kincaid, for Thomas Kincaid, of light, Francis nature, Caligula tempest, Hillary trickery, and Bush war. And we'll try to kind of keep all that pieced together. So that's kind of what we're dealing with. You guys are in temperance, and we're starting out on the continent of Dalamar.
Is that your piss jar?
That's limoncello.
Limoncello. Oh my god. So you're on the continent of Delamar, in the town of Astor, and
Astamouth.
so Astamouth Banana, that's right. And
Delamar is the continent. Okay.
Dalamar is the continent. Astor is the village that you're in. Very, very, very small village.
Yeah. Alright, so Astor is the village.
Astor is the village that you're in. All right, and you're on the continent of Dalamar. Astor is on kind of the southeastern side, close to the ocean, but not terribly close. You've got some a mountain range to the north. You've got forest kind of around. It's real backwoods and stuff, but it's been cleared out so that there's like farms and shit around. I kind of punted on how to get you guys fucking together because you picked such weird fucking races.
You
and people.
take that back.
So what I've done is just done the DM punt and said, you guys met and decided to band together to try to like make some fucking money or something like that.
After some flaccid sex or something.
I said I was human, but I want to be a hermaphrodite.
We're not.
That's not a race.
Not a race.
That's a configuration.
That's a configuration.
No, I mean
That's an advanced
race.
options.
That's not a race.
How would that not be a race?
Listen, if
You
you
could
got
be a
some,
hermaphrodite elf or hermaphrodite dwarf.
No.
You make it
Like,
work.
I'm from Hermaphrodites. It's around Egypt area.
no, all right. You've got weird shit going on in your pants. That's fine, but let's kind of keep it there. So anyway, you guys are in this town.
I fucked a bear the
and
last time I played D&D, so just let you know.
You what?
I fucked a half of a bear. Remember that trick?
Yes, a half. The bottom half.
The bottom
It was
half.
cut in half, and he took the bottom half.
Oh my god,
Alright.
I am not role playing you through any
Yeah.
bear fucking adventures. So
Yeah.
just go ahead and Cross that off your fucking list.
Adventures.
Or at least you can only use one of the 2 organs that are down there.
That's
All
right.
right, there we go.
That's
This
right.
is mine.
You have to roll
Okay.
for it.
So you guys are in the town of Astor, and it's been about a week that the bell here has stopped chiming. You haven't really noticed a ton, other than like you look out at like the woods nearby, and like the leaves, they're drooping a little heavier than they should. There is like kind of reflection, like almost there's like bits of ice and stuff along the trees. The grass is not quite the right shade of green. Just kind of like it just feels off, just slightly, like enough that you're like, I don't know, there's something weird's going on, but you couldn't really put your finger quite on it. But the townspeople are kind of freaked out, and they have been trying to kind of figure out what to do. And so there's the mayor in town, and the mayor, whose name is Crenshaw, and he has a patch over his one eye. Mayor Crenshaw is called kind of a little town meeting outside of McAllister's farm, which is kind of on the back of town, but near the middle. And they're going to try to figure out what's going on. So why don't you guys go ahead and introduce your characters in all their shitty glory, and then we'll get started.
Do you have a preferred order, Sean?
I don't give a fuck.
Go for it. Go for it, Eric. Go first.
So in front of you, you see this like this half elf that you're like, just like you all have raging boners right now because of how good that half elf looks, right? So
Which half?
all right,
So and Dan's stoner is it's
yeah.
weird.
You know, the thing with being a hermaphrodite, you can't really do anything when you're fully erect, so you have to walk around with a semi, because like if you're erect, you can turn it around and stick it back in.
Oh my god. So
All right. So
oh my lord.
all right, so all right, here we go. I just kind of got really into this, so here we go.
Okay. All right.
My human father, Jubilation T. Compone,
Oh my god.
joined the Kincadian priesthood as a last-ditch effort to save his sanity. He lost his beloved elvish wife, Erasmatine Sassafras, and 3 half-elf children, Aiden, aided, and has aided, in the pastel riots of 409.
All right.
He thought the light could bring him comfort, but the lamentations of his loss could not be abated by service in the cloud. Instead, he sought solace in the sensuous arms of the most exquisite, elegant, exclusive, and expensive elvish courtesan in all temperance, my mother, Dixie Thigh-Gap.
Mind it. Mind it.
Dixie Thigh-Gap.
Shit.
Over the years, Jubilation became my mother's sole customer. She needed no others.
Holy crap. This is going to come back to bite me in the ass when I apply for jobs. Like, you saw this video?
I'm sorry, did you say your name was
PEBCSAC.
Doc Holliday?
She needed no others. With Jubilation's desperation and the uniquely vicarious way she helped him cope with the loss of his wife, Dixie's inflated prices allowed her to live a reclusive and regal life. When she wasn't on her back for Jubilation's ugly bumping therapy sessions, she was honing her skills in the arts, becoming an accomplished musician, singer, and dancer. She also 10x'd her profits. She also 10x'd her prodigious prostitutional profits in the real estate market by flipping condos in Temperance's hottest hipster hangouts when subprime mortgages were still a thing.
Oh my god.
Get your title back with Dynamax.
She lost her shirt when the housing bubble popped, but after taking off her shirt to pop Juby's bubble a few more times, she got back on her feet and recouped most of what she lost and decided to stick to music.
Oh shit.
Many times Jubilation asked Dixie to marry him, but she knew better than to marry some schmo who would croak when she was still elf young. Since he couldn't have her hand in marriage, he offered to pay handsomely for exclusive bed rights, which she granted, provided a prophylactic always be present to prevent pregnancy. Well, due to his priestly profession, my father could only feed his Dixie addiction with dedicated discretion. No matter how cute the Kincadian halfling temple god appear, they do not consider cash and carry carnal congress with a she-elf whore to be walking in the light.
Oh god.
Time passed as Jubilation nursed old wounds in Dixie's bosom. Now in his 80s and in deteriorating health, he knew his time was nearing an end. He confessed to my mother that their continual tryst was the only thing that kept him from taking his own life in sadness or dying from a broken heart in middle age. While he was soon to leave this mortal coil, he aspired to continue the Compone lineage. He would find a way to consternate his family name's capitulation before he croaked. So one night, he mustered up the courage to make his preposterous proposition to his perennial prostitute Dixon. He would empty the temple's coffers so he could empty his balls into my mother. This time, without a penile prophylactic present to prevent pregnancy.
Oh god.
Dixie agreed. And why not? Her sugar daddy was soon to be a sugar daddy. And if one squirt could provide riches for her very long elvish life, she could turn her attention to her musical passion and trade the red light for the spotlight. If one little squirt resulted in having to raise a little squirt, really, what could it hurt? Well, if it isn't obvious yet, I'm the little squirt.
Oh god.
You may be wondering, now how could such decrepit old codger abscond with a trove of Kincadian tithes and offerings?
Oh my god.
Well, as Jubilation was a portly fellow, he had no problem sneaking the gold out in a specially modified man girdle. It took many trips over many days, but he masked the clinking and clanging of coins near his groin by carrying the ceremonial Kincadian chains of light around his waist and conducting a back and forth prayer walk from the temple to Dixie's chambers.
Holy shit.
On the night when the last coin was delivered, Jubilation T. Compone rapturously slung his mistress across the chest filled with Kincadian gold. She spread wide for him, ready to make what is surely to be calculated as the highest hourly wage ever earned in all temperance.
I have so many regrets right now.
No regrets.
Floundering but not failing, Jubilation finally finagled his flaccid phallus on his fly into Dixie's fantastic fanny, and forthwith found his favorite feeling. Fortunately, the foul festival was fleeting. With utmost pleasure and no shortage of old man grunting and groaning, Being that it was raw dog, it didn't take long. In his final act of ecstasy, he thrust, this time uninhibited by hymen hindrance, and securely seated his semen betwixt Dixie's nether regions. Exhausted but exuberant, jubilation returned to his temple quarters, quivering in the afterglow, and knowledge that his line would not cease with his last sentence. The Compone legacy would live on. It was only a matter of time until the gold was discovered missing. The temple god easily discovered it was he who took the money, but he took how the money was spent to the stake, where he burned for his burglary. He died with honor, centering himself, not begging for mercy or crying out in agony like a bitch, but instead channeling all his will into singing Lonely Island's hit single, I Just Had Sex, featuring Akon. As the Kincadians love life, they rarely execute anyone. But when they do it with vivacious verve. The pyre was permeated with pastel powder, and when my father burned, the flame leapt about him like an Easter inferno of periwinkle blue, chartreuse sunrise, and shy orchid. Well, jubilation may have been old, but having never worn briefs, his semen was bold and took hold. His goal was achieved, his spirit relieved, and passed peacefully into repose. While jubilation lay in tomb, I grew in Dixie's womb. And suffice it to say, 9 months after jubilation came, I came into the world.
Oh my God.
Unsure if she would keep the child or not, Dixie was committed to keeping the pregnancy a secret. She purchased a modest estate on the outskirts of town and paid servants to deliver life's necessary various and sundries. Daily she gallivanted in the garden and made merriment mastering her music. And though she found pregnancy droll, she passed the time counting her gold. When the day arrived, her labor was short. She labored bravely, alone. She did not cry in pain, but earnestly, rhythmically, pushed as an orchestra maestro guiding the timpani to crescendo. And that's what she named me, Crescendo Compone, the first of my name. She tells me that my first cry was like a perfect chromatic scale, achieving harmony with the world and the aria of my first breath. Immediately, she banished the thought of banishing me to a brothel or boarding house and instantly fell in love with my endearing coos and adorable a cappella. I spent my childhood learning the mesmerizing music craft of my mother, the delightfulness of dance, and the art of alluring. Charm, baby, is what I got. She paid tutors to educate me and paid them extra to never speak of it. When I was of age, she told me of my father and said that our fortune would only hold if I partook in the ruse. I was to act her manservant. Acting is in my blood, and I played the part perfectly.
Oh, God.
Are we doing good? You want me to take a break?
We're
No,
good.
we're doing-
We're good.
I don't think I poured myself enough whiskey.
All right. I adored my mother, and she adored me. She taught me the history of the elves, and I read books to learn the much shorter and honestly ho-hum history of the humans. I took my love of music to the city where I aspired to perform in the great theater houses and entertain admirers in the taverns. When asked to register for auditions, I knew I must not use my real name, Crescendo Compone, and instead chose a stage name, Gaylord Quinfinius Hassenpfeffer. And I'll thank you to refer to me as such, sugar.
God.
All was well. I was getting bigger and bigger roles in the stage productions. I was earning my way in the world, performing for adoring crowds. After shows, I had lines of admiring men and women vying for my attention, for autographs, and more often than not, a role in the sheets. Many of which I did oblige, many of which obliged me in troops of 2s and 3s.
I get a refill. Sorry. What I missed.
I'm getting bigger roles in the theater. Yes, all was well. That is, until the bells stopped ringing. I could give two shits about the gods and their religion, but when the masses don't have their bells, they begin to go bonkers. And let's face it, when folks begin to worry about their safety and their next meal, well, then the first thing to go is the arts. Suddenly,
Lord knows that's true.
Suddenly, as if from the divine, a thought entered my mind. I should go back to the prolific pastel roots of my priestly pawpaw. I journeyed to the Temple Kincaid to beseech the light. I told a priest of my problems, and the cleric who considered my concern concurred that when the bells began a break and banging, that the stage would be in a standstill and art would be abandoned. He proposed I place a pittance in the piety plate and pray in the pastel pasture, ponder the peace, and pacify my person with penance to the light. I was also welcome to bingo on Tuesdays and Fish Friday. I was praying in the pastel pasture when I was approached by a portly spirit wearing a peculiar man-girdle. He said he was my father, Jubilation T. Compone. He said he had heard my prayer from the beyond and wanted to help. But, he explained, it takes great effort for him to manifest himself in the mortal world. And in order for him to be able to help me, I would have to strengthen the bond to the afterlife by binding myself to him. Binding? I said. Oh, honey child, I'm into bondage, but what are you blabbering on about? He said only then could he overcome his eminently impairing incorporeal state of being and impart to me the immense power and important knowledge necessary to bring the bells back to ringing. He said this mystic knowledge was called WMD. Why, Missin' Dingin? Having always missed the connection and guidance of knowing my real father, I was overjoyed at the thought of being able to meet and know him. I asked what I must do, and he instructed me to complete a ritual. I was to braid 9 strands of steel piano wire wrapped around 11 more lengths of unbraided piano wire. Then melt it into a beam shape with jet fuel. Nextly, sharpen the beam's tip to a cutting point. Lastly, in a room of 9 incense burners and 11 candles, carve a large W on my chest. I was then to chant 3 times, the president, the president, the president. Emphasis on the. And the binding would be complete. I asked, what in tarnation does saying the president have to do with helping you help me? He said that it was important to repeatedly state the monotonous reality of the state in order to convince the light to reinstate him firmly in the current state. It all sounded like poppycock to me, but I let it be. This was my poppy. He would help me. So I rushed home and obtained the piano wire from my mother's music supplies and jaunted over to visit my adoring fan, Jethro Hamfist, the Black Blacksmith. Jethro agreed to fashion the rod for a mere 2 gold pieces and a ride on my rod.
What the hell? What is happening?
Talk about a circus of value, honey child. The next morning, I had the instrument in my inventory. I purchased the incense and candles from the kindly apothecary, Cecilia Memorabilia, who also happens to be an adoring fan, for 2 copper, 1 in the pink, and 2 in the stink. That evening, I locked the door to my room, lit the incense and candles, and sterilized the blade in a blazing fireplace. I placed a wooden rod between my teeth to bear down upon, as I knew the pain would be arousing and intense. As the candles glowed, my father's form took shape in the incense smoke. "Hello, son. I can't wait to be with you again. We've missed so much. It's time to make up for lost time. Together, you and I bring the bells back to the people, can bring the ring back to the people. Then the crowds will line up to see you perform, and I can finally enjoy seeing you as the man I knew you would be, dashingly dapper and terrifically talented. Father, I'm frightened. I fear the feeling that will befall me when I chisel upon my chest. Oh, God. Hurry, son. I'm growing weak. I cannot maintain this form for long. I need you to help save our civilization from the calamity to come. WMD is real. You are so close." I pressed the sharpness into my skin, and through the agony, managed to scrawl a large W directly over my sternum. With blood dripping down my sculpted 8-pack, I initiated the incantation. The President, 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 the President. As the last president passed my parched lips, the candles were snuffed out, and the smoke coalesced into a large sphere. Only the dull glow of the fireplace lit the spectacle. Suddenly, the sphere of smoke began to glow red. It pulsated with energy, heaving and shrieking again and again, and then suddenly burst, leaving in its place, standing, a hideous figure of a demon with large horns in what had to be an Italian tailored suit and red tie.
"Fool," he said,
Oh
"I am not your father. There is no WMD. Now you are bound to me."
What is this treachery? I entreated, filled with horror, anger, disappointment, and regret.
Oh my God.
"I am Texicus. You serve the bush god now. Together we will sow discord and war and rumors of war. You dreamt of security in your homeland. Well, that's not my department, chum. The world will see atrocity by your hands. Widows will weep at your merciless deeds. Your singing will praise only the grotesque atrocity you wreak upon the downtrodden. And your dancing will be upon the graves of the innocent."
No, it can't be. You tricked me. I frantically reached for the red-hot poker in the fireplace and pressed it upon my fresh W blood tattoo wound. Sizzling, cauterizing, the smell of burnt flesh filled my nostrils.
Ha! It is done, mortal. There is no going back. You were foolish enough to think their father would help me now. His spirit passed peacefully after he shot you into that prostitute's poontang.
I started to sob. As God is my witness, I will never serve you.
There, slave. In time, you will come to know the true power you have attained. Who is to say it cannot be used for what you call good? My power is your power to command, as you are mine.
I steeled myself through the tears, seething with anger, and said through gritted teeth, I will never justify evil in the name of accomplishing good.
Ha! You think you are so pure? Your ideals are nothing in the face of the almighty bush god of war.
Be gone. I don't need you. I resist you. I don't want you.
The deal is done. You are mine. I am yours. We are bound together. It's not all bad, my precious Gaylord. You want to sing and dance for your admirers? I can make you the most loved artist Temperance has ever known.
I don't need you. I can do it on my own.
Silence, Whoreson. Your mother brought you into this world for coin. She didn't even think she would keep you.
My mother loves me.
Then I advise you trust and obey me. You don't understand the power you have unleashed. I can command you to harm even her.
I wept bitterly that night, cursing myself for being so foolish. Every day when I look at myself in the mirror, I see the W scar on my chest.
Is this part of the mission or what?
Texicus, always in the same damn red tie, smiling back at me. I will find a cure for this curse. I will use this power for good. Texicus be damned. I will sing, dance, fight, and fuck my way to freedom.
Oh. Okay, so is that we're rounding out?
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay, all right. So a
All
couple
right,
notes.
sorry. Oh, hold on.
Dance like that's it? That's all?
Hold on. I think my bio is a little bit longer than Borg's. you give me the opportunity. Jump right in.
Jay's like, it's split into 4 acts, so
I got a bio, but my sound effects won't come until the beans hit my colon.
Sorry,
So,
Sean.
a couple things I wanted to note here. First of all, you have a lot of interest and detail about your parents' sex life.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean, it's how I'm here.
right, and a little bit of the way that you were talking about what you thought was your ghost father was that you were getting aroused while Dad was there. So there's a little bit of like,
aroused?
awkward.
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear
awkward
that part.
tension there. Yeah, he was. The pain was building, and he knew that the pain and the arousal would build.
Yeah.
Was a line that I had heard. So
Is that from your
That was
notes?
before he was there, right?
yeah, it was before he was there. That's true.
Okay, so
But
it's
he was
just
talking
like
about what would happen, right?
Yeah.
So that was a lot. I blame myself.
I blame myself. I award myself
but-
no points. May God have
We're all
mercy on my
doomed now,
soul.
thank you.
Okay, and
My wife, but she didn't whore.
all right.
Award you no points.
So I'm a warlock.
So now that we have the background, your name is Gaylord Hoffenpfeffer.
Gaylord Quidfinius Hoffenfeld.
Quidfinius Hoffenpfeffer.
Okay, Gwen Phineas Hoffenpfeffer. All right, and introduce the more important aspects of your character.
I'm a half-elf, age 20 half-elf level 1 warlock against my own will, one might say. And, I just want to get the bells back to ringing. If the bells don't come back to ringing, the archers stop.
Okay.
They're at risk, and I'll have nowhere to perform. That's what I want to do. I want to perform.
Okay.
And, yeah.
So you've got a lust for the stage, and the bells have kind of fucked that up. Okay.
Yep. And I fear
all right.
what will happen if good men do not act.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
We'll let you know when we find some good men.
All right. I want to just to give anyone who might ever watch this a little insight into the kind of group we are. I want to jump to Ryan to see, kind of just juxtapose his introduction. So, Ryan...
Pretty sure mine's going to be shorter. You probably should come to me.
I can't imagine. Well, it was a toss-up between you and Ryan.
Well, actually, I had plenty of time to create my bio, so it's on the fly.
It's like I'm writing it right now. Writing it right now.
Okay, Ryan, why don't you introduce your weird-ass character?
So my character is from the elitist of the elite of Dungeons and Dragons, which is the expansion, the turtle expansion. So my character is a turtle from Tortino, the home of the pepperoni. Fun fact, Beatrice and Akon had sex with my mother when she was 20. And I am the offspring, and guess what? He left the money with me. I'm rich as fuck. I'm rich as fuck. So just saying, put it out there.
Then how did Dixie Thigh Gap afford such a stately estate?
1%. I am a thief with sleight of hand and a master magician.
All right, and you are a turtle person.
Yep.
So how tall are you? Are you the size of a halfling, size of a human?
I'm like 4'9".
Okay, all right. So it's a big fucking turtle.
Yeah.
All right, sweet.
Yeah.
Wait, what's your name? What's your turtle name?
Yeah, what's your name?
Hopy, last name Lope.
Hopi Lope.
Hopi Lope.
Hopi Lope.
All right. Micah?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And scene.
Act 1. Act 1, Scene A. Now, hopefully the pyrotechnics will go off in sync like I've planned.
Hold on.
All right.
You can't unpack the box from moving, but you got pyrotechnics fucking.
Hey, fucking priorities, okay?
That's right.
TNT.
That's Amazon's problem.
All right. Dogger was born of an orc mother and a human father. He was not born out of love or compassion. His mother, Grutok, had raped a barbarian chieftain on one of the orc raids of the Northern Barrens. This was a common occurrence. Yes, his mother raped.
Right,
Okay.
This was a common occurrence, and half-orcs had become accepted in the tribe as long as they could prove their worth like all the other orcs. However, Dogger was not so common. He was born grotesquely disfigured, and considered quite ugly even by orc standards. He was mocked quite often as he grew up, and was nicknamed the Ogre, not just for his appearance, but as cruelty of life would have it, he was also quite dumb. At the age of 14, when orcs become warriors through the rite of Magmintu, in this challenge, one orc must kill the other and prove their might and right to live by making them a warrior of the tribe. It was at this age that Dogger was once again being mocked by his peers. Chief among them was the warlord's own son, Jorm. This had become a common occurrence for Dogger, but at this time, Jorm had the idea of also throwing large rocks. When one of the rocks struck Dogger, something in him snapped. He rushed at Jorm and bit into his neck clean through. Jorm reeled back out of shock, and Dogger then grabbed Jorm's arm with obscene strength and tore it off and began beating Jorm with it. He fell to the ground, and Dogger leapt upon his chest and thrust his hand into Jorm's open mouth. He then ripped off Jorm's jaw and shoved it into his eyes, instantly killing him. The others fled this gruesome scene to inform the warlord. The warlord and his guard approached Dogger, who was standing proudly over his kill. The warlord spat on the ground. "Dogger, you have no honor." Dogger's face fell. "Dogger killed Jorm. Dogger is warrior." The warlord shook his head slowly. "You failed to invoke Magmintu. There is no honor bound to this kill. You have slain one of your brethren and gained nothing." Dogger stuttered. Dogger is sorry that he didn't Magmintu."
Oh, shit. Let's make sure to have as many inside jokes as possible to
Yes.
That's my goal.
the audience.
Right people will get it.
The warlord shot Dogger with a cold stare. "Dogger, you are never meant to be a warrior. You have great strength, but your brain is broken. You are a blemish upon our tribe." He then turned to those present. "Let it be known now that Dogger, son of Grutak, is no longer one of the tribe. He is exiled and known now as enemy." Broken in spirit, Dogger fled at these words. Dogger spent 2 years wandering the wilderness and eating whatever he could find. One day he stumbled upon 2 bodies in a clearing. They were freshly decomposing, but both looked of elvish descent. They were both robed in ornate clothing, though in different colors. One held a curved piece of wood covered in elaborate etchings, and between them was a tattered book bound in iron. Dogger began searching the bodies for anything of use, but his eye was continually drawn to the book. Eventually his curiosity won out, and he reached for the book. And as he reached near it, the book leapt to his hand, and he could not let go. He began to feel a chill creeping up his arm, like cold chains winding around him until it reached his chest, and instantly the cold flipped to a searing heat like hooks piercing his chest. He tried to pry the book from his grip using his free hand, but instantly it too was latched to the book, and the same crawling cold, then searing heat wormed its way into his chest. His hands then forced the book open against his will, and a blinding light engulfed his vision. What felt like a hot spike rammed into his forehead, and he heard a voice speak that sounded like teeth tearing into meat and boots trudging through mud. "Behold me! I am Rove, the right hand of Bush, Lord of Conquest. Your pact has been made, you are now mine. I see your feeble mind and what you desire. Serve me, and I will grant you a great boon. You will become mightier than any orc, and will no longer have to worry about your thoughts and doubt. I will make your choices for you. Let us first cleanse your past." The book then spoke a single word, "Lakal," and a fire erupted inside Dogger. He began to grow twice his size and felt a burning energy filled his body to a point where he felt he would burst if he stood still too long. A vision then filled his mind of his old tribe fleeing him, their huts burning, and Dogger the ogre standing triumphant in the middle of the massacre. When the vision faded, a power left his body, and Dogger found himself standing in the middle of what was left of his former tribe. Bodies were strewn everywhere and barely recognizable. Even with his limited mental capacity, Dogger realized that the vision was not just that. He had witnessed what had actually transpired, but at a distance while his body was not in his control. He watched the destruction wrought by Rove through him. Finally, Dogger could be strong, the mightiest there ever was, but no longer would he have to choose how or where to use his might. In the 5 years that came after, Rove used Dogger many times to wreak havoc upon many civilizations. He became simply known as the Ogre, and legend grew that he would visit upon those that deserved punishment for wronging their fellow man. In the last year, the book had grown more silent, and told Dogger, "I must prepare for what is to come. I will call upon you when needed again, and you will be my vessel." Now in the last week, as the holy bells of temperance have fallen silent, the book has spoken again.
Cool, man.
All right.
So your patron's name is
Rove.
Rove.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Mine is Texicus. I love how we both latched on to that war theme. That's so cool, man. We didn't even talk about it.
I know, right?
All right.
Oh my gosh, it's so
just
good.
a couple notes here. So you're Dogger the ogre,
Yeah.
except that you're not an ogre. You're an
An
orc.
Yes, just nickname the ogre.
And you're super dumb.
Yeah. Dumb as a bag of rocks.
Dumb as a bag of rocks, but you're pretty big and strong and just ripping shit up.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Do you serve willingly?
No, I'm so a willing vessel, right?
Okay.
When Rove calls upon Doger, Doger doesn't make
Did you
many
take
decisions
vengeance
for
on your
himself.
tribe because you wanted to?
It was a deep-seated hatred, right?
Yeah.
And Rove could see that, but really Rove wanted to just clean slate it, no ties.
Do you
Murder
feel bad
everything.
about it today?
Oh no,
No.
no, because Doger's about power.
All right.
Might makes
Doger's
right.
about power. So far, we've got Gaylord Hoffenpfeffer, who's about dance, maybe some tap, just the spotlight in general. We've got Doger the ogre,
And
who's
betting people. If that wasn't obvious, betting people.
who's about war. We've got Hopi. What was your name?
Hopi
Lope.
Hopi Lope.
Hopi Lope.
Hopi Lope.
Hopi Lope. Hopi Lope.
Hopi Lope.
Hopi Lope.
Let me add an E in there.
Was that,
Yeah,
was
I'm
that
putting-
Ashton's call, Terry? Oh, you're on mute.
Oh, he's on
You're
mute.
muted.
He's
I actually see you talking.
Yes, that was old school.
Oh,
Sorry.
Hopi Lope.
So good.
Before you
Alright.
guys have to pee really bad. Just a heads up.
Yeah.
And I could use
Alright.
a break too.
Door right back there.
Yeah. So if we can wait on Dan, or I've got a feeling that Dan, much like his bedroom, is going to finish in about 4 seconds. And then we can break
Right.
for drink. So
Okay, yeah.
either
It's true. I will say that since I have graduated from one sentence to actually a paragraph now.
Ooh,
Nice.
this guy.
all right.
See,
Let's
Dan's
hear
gonna
it.
be the
Let's hear it.
surprise
And
one.
then I got a
Gold star.
All right, let's hear it, and then we're gonna break to pee and refill drinks. Since I didn't bring whiskey in the room with me, which was a mistake.
Well, that was your first mistake.
Full of a tool.
Full of a toque.
All right. I am Bronny Darko.
Bronny Dark.
It's not Brony. Okay.
First of my name. I'm from Moore Restauros. I'm a human, a mercenary by hire. I'm a great swordsman. I'm also a man of few words, but I do hate demonic rabbits. So if y'all have any,
Okay.
just get them the fuck away.
All right,
Gotcha.
All right, good.
I'm gonna
Good to
jot
know.
that down.
That's
for
great.
my
Oh
own.
man, Sean's gonna use
I
that.
don't know
Oh,
my
shit.
parents, but I do know that I was born from a whore in Clitavania.
Oh,
Oh, yes.
Just west of Breckenridge, right? 3 miles max.
Great resort town. Great resort town.
Yeah. Near
I'm
Buford.
5'6", and that's 2 different measurements.
Wait, so since you're just 6 inches tall, we can just put you in your pocket, right?
Oh, that's.
But you gotta sling it over your shoulder. So
oh, Jesus.
Oh man.
Let's see. I've made a living serving those who are wealthy and attempt to make my name honorable. And yeah, that's about it. That's all I got.
Dude,
all right, take it.
dude, we're a turtle, a half elf, a half orc, and a human. That is amazing.
And the turtle is gonna pee in his shell. I gotta go. Be right
All right. Can we pause this and refill drinks and shit?
Yeah.
There's no pausing. It just goes.
Yeah.
It just goes.
So, Micah,
hey, how you
I would
doing,
ask
buddy?
you what you're wearing, but I can see.
I asked you what you're wearing, but it's transparent. So.
It's hot. It's hot out here.
Yeah, I turn on my fan. Hopefully, it's not picking up anything on the mic. I don't think it does.
No, I don't hear it. I
Good.
don't hear nothing. I don't hear anything.
Oh man, what a ragtag bunch we are. Hilarious. Poor Sean. He's got to figure out how to cobble this together in something that makes sense.
Good luck. Good luck.
Oh man. I'll tell you what though, just sitting and listening allows you to put in a lot more drinking than when you're playing games. So
Yeah, I'm pretty shit faced.
I could barely read my written backstory. I was like, there's a guy or something. Oh. Oh man.
I was born from a whore in Clitovania.
Oh man. I didn't expect Borg to go so off the rails with his.
Oh my god.
Man. He said he was inspired, so.
He was inspired. I gotta give him that. He talked for 40 minutes straight.
I know. It's like, man, are we gonna get any actual session tonight, or is it just gonna be backstory? But we're pretty good. Well,
Yeah,
we're halfway through. Got the characters out of the way. That's usually
Yeah.
a lengthy part.
Yeah, I didn't know. This is, like I said, I didn't put any effort into it. I didn't know it was going to be that deep. I don't even think, even if I had thought about it, I don't think I would have come up with much more.
Yeah. I didn't plan to do something deep, and then the more time I spent with it, the more I wanted to add to it. So we'll see how it all shakes out. Sean's like probably crying in the bathroom right now.
I know, he's like, what have I
Oh,
done?
why? Oh, there he is.
Done?
Did a good job wiping away your tears, Sean.
Oh
I
god.
was telling Dan you're probably crying in the bathroom right now. Like, why did I do this?
Or did Borg's backdrop look like a wrestler is getting ready to bust out of that door at any moment? 'Cause it looks like one of those curtains, you like, when you hear some
Yeah.
music. Oh my god, it's ultimate war. Here he comes. Oh, Borg locked the door. And go keep him out.
Yeah, so the wrestlers can't come in.
Oh man.
What up, Gaylord?
Alright, waiting on Trig.
Yeah.
Greetings and salutations.
Oh man.
Well, you know what? Since we're waiting on Trig, I've never topped myself up.
No, he just got back. He just got back. He just got back.
Oh,
He just got back. I see his arm.
All right, fine.
Sorry.
Now you're stuck.
I think
Sorry, you don't have
I
a
got it.
gallon of limoncello sitting next to you.
I had to pee. I had to drink.
Sean, is it too crass to do just ask everybody what their alignment is and stuff like that?
Yeah, I'd rather that stuff kind of come out.
It sounds really crass.
You know,
is what
like-
I'm saying.
I mean, if you're fucking half bears, I'm gonna get that, you're not lawful good,
Hey,
so-
that was my
let's-
formal self. That was dumb. We can't say his name. The sequel.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
sequel.
I forget about that.
All right, so
Voldemort.
Well,
yeah,
I can't say his
I'd rather
name.
those things just kind of come out in, the decision making stuff.
Yeah.
As much as we can.
Okay.
The way that you
You can
kinda
ask how
play
many hit
everything.
points I have if you want to do that.
So I guess, I'll ask Micah. We'll talk later about how we're gonna build our guys.
11.
Ooh.
Sorry, Micah. Can you spell your first character's name?
Yes. Dohgre. Dogre.
Damn, I wasn't even close.
Yeah.
You should remember it because it was
Numbers
my
and stuff.
it was
I
my
kept reading
character in EverQuest. Remember when we played EQ2? I was
Oh my
Dogre
God.
the Ogre in
That's right.
EQ2.
Gosh,
That's
right.
dude, we were
That-
kids.
Dogre the Ogre.
We were kids.
EverQuest 2, that had to have been
Was that before Vanguard?
I mean, that was before.
Like 12
before
years
anybody
ago.
was married, before anybody had kids.
Yeah.
All that.
Holy
Yeah,
crap.
I played that with you guys.
Yep.
I remember is that the game that had towers and stuff in it in the field that we would go and?
It
I
had
was a
the
rat bard.
it had the group dungeons. Remember,
You
you'd
were
go
a
in,
rat.
there'd be other people in
A
there.
rat. I was a Jared
Remember
Bard.
Platt, Dan?
Jared Bard.
Yeah,
Yes, Platt.
I played that game.
That, remember the Does it come in black? That's from
Yeah,
that's not like
Yes,
EQ2.
that's what it's
That's from
from.
EverQuest. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
EQ2.
sure I played
That's
that
a
one.
joke, right?
That's
Yeah.
a joke, right?
Like, I'm just trying to craft my shit, lady. Shut up.
Yeah.
It's funny how we always end up going back to WoW.
Yep.
All right,
That's
so
You guys
Ronnie
want-
Darko, is there
Wow.
anything else
You guys
that
want to play some WoW?
need to communicate? Or are you good? Was that a good introduction
mean,
for you?
Yeah, I
I
think
think
so.
so. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
No, I got.
Oh,
I don't have any, deep
yeah.
stories. Like
If it wasn't clear, I am also a warlock.
Right. So we got Warlock, Ranger, Thief is essentially what we're going
Yeah,
with here.
we got- yeah.
All right, so you guys have been.
Wait, Sean, sorry.
Yeah,
Quick.
uh-huh.
Before we get started, I just want to say a big thanks to you, Sean, for
Oh, yeah.
initiating this, being
Yeah.
willing to put in the hard work,
Taking
to
one
do
for
it.
the team.
Yeah, seriously. And we're gonna be as super flexible and easy on you as we can be, because we
Sweet.
know this is your
Least
first time
amount of
out.
bear fucking we can possibly muster.
So we're gonna make mistakes. We're gonna learn. It's all good.
Woo!
Yeah, but
All right,
if
sweet.
the occasion arises, I still will teabag you. No,
That's fair.
I'll
That's
bite down,
Okay.
so
That's-
that's
Oh wow,
your
well
risk.
committed.
This is good.
You want to roll those
I
dice.
feel- I feel a lot of love here.
All
All
right.
right, so you guys are
Make
in
sure I'm
town.
cold.
You're at kind of outside McAllister's farm.
Yeah.
So Mayor Crenshaw gets up on the back of a wagon that's kind of set off to the side. And he stands up and he's like, "All right, listen, this is not great. There's obviously some shit going down. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
shit, guys.
Shit, guys.
Okay.
So what I was hoping is that we could get someone to go to Skepis, which is the name of the capital city. Skepis was where the temple is, and the first spell that you guys really know anything about is situated there. Go to Skepis and I don't know, like donkey punch the high priest in the face and find out what's going on. So, everyone else here has got like lives and shit, and the four of you are just kind of dicking around. So you could do it, but the problem as I see it is
He's not wrong.
it's not wrong. The problem as I see it is as things stand, like you're gonna get destroyed on the path to Skepis. It's not real great, and
like de-destroyed, do you think?
there's
Or just straight up
destroyed.
destroyed?
Yeah, just straight up destroyed. Probably
That's
some
serious.
teabagging, some mushroom
Yeah.
stamping. Like when someone kills someone else and the camera's like right over them, and you just see them kind of going up and down over their character, their lifeless corpse. So what I'm hoping we can do is find a way for you guys to get some something so that if someone gets hurt, they're not just totally fucking effed. Because you dumbasses don't have a whole lot of healing medical shit between the four of you. So you're going to need to do some asking around, see if anyone's got any here in town. And as for the rest of us, we'll help however we can. So anyone have any like healing potions or anything we can get this kind of going with?
I thought we could just dial Hainan 1.
Doger have shiny color circle for money.
So this dude pops up. His name's Terrence, right? He says, "So listen, I know that we've had some shit go down recently, where a couple people who live on the outskirts of town have kind of been robbed and shit like that. So maybe we could ask them like what was taken, because I remember that a couple people did have some kind of adventuring shit in their house, and the shit's gone. So I asked a couple of them, because Mayor Crenshaw told me to do this. I asked a couple of them they would meet us in the tavern. We can kind of talk about over a drink. So so Crenshaw says, all right, I mean, I guess that sounds as good a plan as any. There's rumors of some shit possibly in a place taken by possibly some dudes. That sounds pretty hard and fast. So maybe we'll head up and meet up in the tavern. All right, so you are the crowd begins to dissipate. Mayor Crenshaw and Terrence walk off towards the tavern. You guys are in the middle of town. It's real small, a couple buildings. There is a tavern / inn there that's called Pissing the Night Away. And you guys know that there's not like any sort of place to. There's not like a trading post or anything. This is like a really small town. So if anyone's got anything to sell, it's going to be there.
Who was Terrence again?
Terrence is just some dude who lives in town.
Gotcha.
Right?
This is fucking Terrence.
And
Yeah, he sounds shady.
Mayor Crenshaw had
Let's
like
kill him.
kind of tried to look into this for you guys because he figured that you guys are just going to get fucked if you don't have some way of like healing your wounds. And so this is what he heard was Terrence knew that there were some of the people who had gotten robbed had possibly had some of this shit, and there. So anyway, that's where you stand.
So are we currently in the tavern?
You are currently at McAllister Farm.
Oh,
Middle.
McAllister Farm.
Kind of the middle back of town, fields out to the north, and then there's like pretty dense forest backing that up. Behind you, you have like a couple buildings, and then as you see off in the distance, little houses and shit where people live.
What?
And so
what
we got
year?
like
What?
Like
What year is it?
What year?
Yeah.
it's the current year.
Yeah,
Well, it's got to be around 400 because Borg referenced that in his backlog.
Sure.
I
Sure.
just pulled out of my ass.
What?
So Borg.
What month is it though? And
Uh-huh.
wait, is it a Tuesday?
It
Because I got to
it
get
is
my T-Mobile
Tuesday.
rewards if it's Tuesday.
Right.
So can we stop the T-Mobile store before we go to the tavern? Is that-
So it's post 400. Let's call it 450.
450 PP.
I guessed correctly, basically. then.
After the great description. So like there was this like massive event where a character description went on for like a good half hour.
Great description.
And it was kind of like a BC before character, AD.
Pretty sure it was longer than half
Before
an
character
hour.
and after character.
Oh my gosh, yes. 450 AC.
Yes.
So it's 450. It is. It's currently like late summer, almost early fall, so it's kind of nice.
Do I need to bring a jacket or we're still shooting that?
Yeah. A tunic.
It's kind of one of those things like it's nice when you piss outside. The tip of your dick is just a little cold.
Okay, I got you.
Is it
No,
very
I-
polleny though? Am I have allergy
I appreciate
issues on
It's
this
not-
adventure?
It's not polleny. All right, so there you are. That's where you're
I'm gonna
doing.
dress in layers.
Should I bring some Benadryl?
We'll have to,
So,
we'll have to buy
Sean.
some at the tavern.
All right, you fuckers. Yeah.
With less than an hour before everyone's probably getting off, right?
Sure. Huh?
Do you want to expedite anything, or do you want us to just kind of?
Sure.
Were you
we
hoping
can
to get
say-
combat tonight?
Okay, yeah. We can say that
Okay.
you go. So you go to the tavern. You walk in. You've got like your standard guy behind the bar. Very, very minimal in terms of like decorations and shit. Just a table and a bar and whatever. You talk to Terrence, who introduces you to a couple people around town. One of whom is named Lucas. All right, so Lucas Townsperson is his last name. It's Prussian. Lucas Townsperson.
Russian.
Lucas Townsperson tells you that as far as they were able to tell, they had gone off to enjoy some mead at the tavern, and when they came back, they had been robbed. They followed some tracks back, and it looked like the tracks were heading towards Miller's mine. So there is an old mine around town that the Miller family used to actually mine, and it was the king of mines. But it looks like some people are kind of maybe some people are held up there. It's not like a very safe place, but it seems like a good place to get started if you wanted to. So fairly close to town, but far enough that it's going to take a little bit of a trek.
So we're gonna take a look at Crazy Jack Mine.
All right. So is that what you guys want to do? Gonna go?
Gentlemen, Brawny, I think that we should venture to the mine that we have just learned about. I believe it is Crazy Jack Miller's mine. Is that correct?
Let's do it.
But go deep in holes.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Or go to mine.
Does everyone have equipment?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, you guys
Well, you're a turtle, right? I mean, you ain't got much to work with.
Equip, not strip.
I mean, it should be fairly visible unless someone's like wearing a big ass cape or something.
Okay.
All right.
I'm put 6 inches.
Are you good, Ryan? You got
Yeah. Yeah.
I've
I
got
mean, I have
equipment.
what I think I should have.
Do you want to know what I have?
Okay.
Do you want to see my equipment?
Okay. So
before we go, real quick,
yeah.
if you don't mind.
Yep.
I'd like to do a little performance for the people in this
Oh my
town.
god. Oh my god.
If you don't mind, ladies and gentlemen, may I perform for you?
All right, we're gonna do a check here to see if anyone is interested in that nonsense. You got, and I'm gonna move this down so that perhaps you can.
Whoa! Hey, where are we going here?
It's a 2.
Hey.
It is a 2.
Okay.
All right. So no one gives a shit.
All right. Okay.
No one gives an absolute flying fuck. So you say that, and the 4 other people in the room.
John, you gotta warn me before you do that. A little came back going on. I don't know.
So you stand up and say that, and slowly the 3 people just kind of get up and start like kind of milling about, and then slowly like one just starts marching towards a window, like kind of stands up real straight, and then just tips himself into the window. The feet go over the head, and slips out. One dude does the Dan like slither out of the bottom of his chair, and no one is fucking interested. The rest of your group, I think, looks pretty awkward at this. So no one's interested in that.
I do a little jig anyway.
All right, that sounds
I
good.
do a jig. Amazing.
Yeah, it's impressive.
That's a good one. All right, good.
Yeah.
You successfully jigged
Okay.
without hurting yourself.
So you find out that Miller's Mine is past McAllister Farm to the north in the woods a little bit. There's not really a path that goes there, but it's not too far, and they kind of give you some guidance and stuff on how to do that. What do you do? Are you going? Yes? Traveling?
Yes, I would like to travel.
Okay, so all right, so you guys cross over the farmland, you get into the woods. Again, there's that sense that things just aren't quite right. Leaves are hanging just slightly heavier. They don't move in the wind exactly as they should. Little bits of tree and bark and stuff is kind of shining when it shouldn't, those sorts of things. So you come up eventually. You guys find your way quite well. And you've got your traditional Wild West, like old mine shaft thing. It's got like the wooden door thing at the front. There's like a mine cart on its side that's like laying outside. A pickaxe that is completely rusted away.
Been
there.
picked.
And some signs of like fresh tracks and stuff, but you can't really make out a whole lot of what's going on.
Tracks, huh?
So,
Can anyone-
Sean, because I'm unfamiliar, like, do we like do perception checks or investigation checks happen when we say we're doing something? I guess.
Yeah. So you have passive perception,
Yeah.
and if something's real visible, then you do and like it's visible enough that you notice it. Then I'll say like you notice that this is whatever. But you don't really notice a whole lot now.
So my skills, guys, are going to be fully like social. So once we leave like the town and the tavern, or whatever,
You're worthless.
I'm freaking worthless when it comes to like finding traps and doors and things like that. So I need your help.
So I think that's
rogues,
where
rangers,
my
etc. Yeah.
yeah. I
Send
think
the
rangers
turtle.
as well. That's right. That's right.
Just tuck him in his shell and chuck him down the hole.
Put him on his back and spit him.
See if anything triggers.
Although I think
Funny
Bronny, I think Bronny's got this one though.
So do I need to cast magic missile, or I mean, what's going on?
Only if you're attacking the darkness.
It had to come out on the first night. You had to.
Yes.
Oh,
All right. So you said there's tracks.
Yeah.
There's nothing much to investigate, though.
Not a whole lot. I mean, there's just it looks like people have been going in, or something's been going in and out of there.
And why are we going into the mine? Because
I light a torch.
the mayor.
So
Nah.
basically,
Doger knows
so
tracks.
you dumbasses have no way of healing yourself if you were to get hurt, other than just like, oh, let's just kind of sleep this off or whatever. And so he felt wisely that it'd be good to kind of track some shit down. No one in town really had anything because that stuff's kind of rare. But Terrence knew of a family on the outskirts of town that had like an adventuring uncle who kind of passed away and left some stuff to them. And it's possible that they might have had something of that nature that could help.
Let me unpack it here for a second. This is Sean's effort to give us some loot before we go to like the main quest, so that we don't total party wipe on our first day out.
Exactly. You dumbasses do not have any way of healing yourself.
We have no way to heal.
Okay.
All right. So, can we get the person with the highest, maybe what is it? Investigation. What's the right thing? Perception.
Perception.
To like lead the way.
I don't think perception was on that.
Well, you know, Doger spent a considerable amount of time in the wilderness. He does know tracks.
All right.
If it would provide any value, Doger take a look at the tracks.
Perception is on there, by the way. But
all right. So, is Doger's going to do some sort of perception check? Is that right?
Yeah, Doger look at holes in ground, tiny holes, tiny footholes.
All right.
See, look under my wisdom right here.
So do you guys have a way of rolling die for me?
Yeah, I can roll. I've got it over on the
roll a d20 for me.
Rolling a d20.
See what I posted? Perception plus 3.
Got a 20. Rolled a 20, got it.
Did you really?
Yes, I really did. I can screenshot and send it to you.
All right, sweet. Okay, so you look around, and
in the tracks you find a healing kit.
Yeah.
There's actually an entire cleric in this footprint.
A pocket cleric.
We now have a pocket cleric.
Hooray.
Carry around and squeeze healing on people.
Quest complete.
Like a kid's toothpaste.
Yeah, just wring out the healing on people.
All right,
Salt
so you look around and you're pretty sure that you're able to determine that there are spider tracks, and it seemed like perhaps maybe a decent amount. There's something that is big and I don't know, big. They're probably like medium, but its track is kind of wide and gross. There's like mucusy stuff kind of left behind. There's at least maybe 2 of those kind of tracks, and then you're pretty sure there's something like goblins that have taken up residence here.
So I'm thinking Doger in front in this situation.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
What do you
All
think, Doger? What are your hit points?
11. I told you earlier.
He did.
Sorry.
I do have a torch that I can light, if that will help.
Let me see what I got. I think I have some of those items.
Yeah. I can light a torch and lead the way.
It's dark as shit, so.
How do you know what you have? Is that the app do that too?
Yeah, mine had an equipment app when first starting out.
Yeah.
That's
how I built my guy.
Sean, how many torches will we need to light to get the maximum light?
I have a crowbar.
I mean, if you do,
how long is
your
the torch?
best bet is like one in the back, one in the front. That's not like super wide. It's not like you guys can make like a square or cube that you're moving through, whatever. It's gonna be not quite single file, but there's not like a ton of room. So one in the back, one in the front, or if you guys do 2 and 2,
one in the back, one in the front. Hey, Gaylord knows all about that. Hey, how long does a torch burn for? Will it last the whole mine shaft?
Sure, I don't give a shit. It's going to last long enough. If it doesn't, you can light another torch. So.
I'm sorry. Did
I will light
say the whole shaft and no one said nothing?
Sean, damn, we're trying to let you role play here. We're not going to pick up your lines.
That is something else I want to say. So anytime that I feel like you guys role play particularly well, especially if it makes me laugh, if I find it enjoyable, then I'll give you a point of inspiration.
Ooh, DM laugh points. Yes.
Yeah. So, and what we're gonna do with that is you can force a reroll on either your own roll or any roll that so like you get critted in the face and you're like, oh fuck, and then you use that. So those are gonna be a little more sparing. It's gonna have to be really, really good, not just like dude dicks, right? And anytime that you guys are just like anyone's just driving me fucking nuts, you're gonna get or I'm gonna get
minus
a point
20
of inspiration.
DKP.
And I can make
a
you
bad boy card.
I can make you a bad boy card. I'm gonna make you re-roll.
Yikes.
So you're like, oh, I crit, and like, fuck you. So, all right. So you're standing at the front.
Doger, would you lead the way, please?
Oh, okay. If you say so.
Or could Hopi go in like stealthily as the front, like kind of
Greg, I
scout
think you're
ahead?
muted.
Let me walk around a little bit lightly.
Dude, you want to have Trig scout ahead, stealth?
Let me put
Okay.
my hood on.
Now,
Put my
hold
hood
on.
on.
You can't stealth with a torch. So
I don't have the torch. I don't
okay,
need
as long as he doesn't have the torch.
I've got the
because you can't
torch.
be like-
Doger
someone
have
can't be
fire.
like, oh man,
Doger
who's carrying
have
that torch?
fire.
I don't understand what's going on.
So
Okay.
this is no bullshit, but my clothes consist of a set of dark common clothes,
Mhm.
a hood. Fucking right.
Is a hoodie? Make sure it's a hoodie.
It could be a hoodie, a crowbar,
It's -5 to police encounters though. So
a belt pouch, and a thieves' tools.
Oh, okay.
So that is
Oh,
what
sweet.
I'm carrying to this place I'm investigating.
Okay.
No,
Alright.
I do
Nice.
have like okay. Anyway, yeah, I don't need anything else.
I have a hunter's
Uh,
trap. So
So I want to go towards the entryway. Is it a door? Is it?
I recommend like we follow Trig in with torches
Okay.
in such a way that would not reveal his stealth approach. Is that
Yes.
possible?
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna say that the torches are gonna give you like maybe like a 20-foot radius of light. So as long as
Okay.
he's 25 plus feet away, then he's all right.
Let's say he's
um,
25 feet.
All right, yeah. So there's no door. It's just like that
An entryway.
that classic entryway. So
I
you're gonna
wanna-
go in, okay?
I want to go up to it and look for any markings on the entryway. Was there a forced entry? Has it always been like this?
Oh, nice.
ooh,
Nice, Hopi.
this guy. Look at this turtle.
You're not real sure.
Wait. Okay.
You can't really. I
I'm
mean,
not sure.
it's pretty old, and that wood is like that. That kind of wood frame that is classic for.
Just
old
say a
mines.
bell lock and get it over with.
It's like kind of petrified. You can't really tell a whole lot.
So once I walk a few feet in, can I see in front of me? Is it dark?
It's pretty dark,
Okay.
and you don't have dark vision, right?
No, do not have dark
Yeah.
vision.
Yeah, it's pretty
Lopey,
dark.
what do
So-
your turtle eyes see?
I'm gonna go ahead and say it's safe, and come on over.
Okay.
All right, so we're all partied up with the
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So you walk in. You've got about 40 feet that you're kind of winding back and forth. It kind of curves and everything. There's a little stream that has like trickled in from underneath one of the walls and kind of follows it down. Then it goes back kind of to the right underneath. Not a whole lot interesting going on there. And you keep walking. You see more signs of tracks. There have been people kind of walking through here, bringing shit, dragging shit, and all that sort of stuff. You eventually get to a little bit of a larger area, probably about 15 feet by 20 feet. And it's not like been kind of nicely hewn out or anything. But it's a decent sized room. And you see kind of a path ahead of you that seems to go down quite quickly. You see a path to the left that just kind of continues on the same elevation. And then to the right, you see a path that goes down as well.
So sorry.
So there's
Left path, right path.
multiple paths.
Yep, 3 paths in front of you.
Okay.
That just kind of splinters off. There's no doors or any of that stuff. It's just kind of the room opens up a little bit, and then it narrows back down to these 3 paths. So the path in front of you seems to be going down pretty sharply, and the paths to either side are kind of more on the level.
I would.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I mean, I being a turtle, I go where the water goes, and it goes down. So that's where I would like to go.
All right, so Mitch
Turtles
McConnell,
all the way down.
Mitch McConnell leads you guys
Mitch McConnell.
down the middle path, and it starts to kind of slope pretty heavily, but not to the point you're gonna trip and fall or anything like that. So you go down, and you guys. So there was the spider track, the kind of goblin-esque track, and then there was the track that was like something just kind of sliding along, and you see more of this as it goes down. And you can see as you keep going, your torch is indicating that there is something that kind of like levels out and perhaps opens up to a room about 20 feet away.
Doger, what do you smell?
Nice. Dude, you're doing great, Ryan.
Spider with big dick.
Sure.
Was that a dirk?
Dirk.
Could be. Gaylord, what did you bring?
I brought my flair for performance, which is absolutely worthless in this environment. However, if we
Did you
do
bring a
roll
banjo?
for initiative, I will blast a motherfucker.
Did you bring any type of acoustic?
Oh,
Fun.
I brought this drill.
Drilling for
This is wine bottle
inspiration.
opener.
Right now.
This is my wine bottle
A
opener.
wine bottle opener.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this.
What's this QVC?
Oh, look at it! I just took a shit. I think
That's
we
his
So,
wine
As a matter
bottle
of
opener.
fact,
sliding tracks.
sir, I am fully prepared. In fact, I failed to mention this in my character introduction.
What?
My
failed to mention
arcane
something?
focus.
Wait, something
My
wasn't
arcane
covered?
focus for
Yeah.
casting my spells happens to be a harmonica.
Ooh.
Perfect.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I
Oh
hate
my
everything.
god.
That would be the acoustic I have with me, sir.
Oh
Do
my
we
gosh.
have?
Yeah, your harmonica breaks.
Fuck
It
yes.
rusted out.
Damn.
All right.
Wait,
Doge-
Ronnie, what did you say? You said
So what are
something
you guys
about
doing?
Yeah,
The
we need
slime
to figure out
slide?
what these tracks are that the sliding tracks.
the
'cause I think
dragger,
that
the
could-
dragger.
Yeah, 'cause that could be bodies going in and out.
Ooh.
Could be
Wow, really good. Yeah.
something I don't know
Okay.
that we need to keep
Could
our
be-
guard up.
yeah.
Do we? Are we still seeing those tracks? Because you said goblin and spider.
And a slimy track, he said.
Okay.
The spider was said by Micah, not by Sean.
No, spiders,
No,
he said.
I said
That's why I said that
Okay.
the spider
No.
tracks with the slimy track is just a spider with a big dick, just dragging
Okay.
along.
That's right. Yeah.
Tess McGee.
No. I do have a horn I could blow if you want acoustics,
Sure. That'd be good.
if that helps in some way.
I wanted more
What do
of
we see? What
a.
do we see around us?
So what you see is the tunnel kind of continues right at the edge of where the light is. It kind of continues a downward slant. It levels out, and it looks like perhaps there's a room or some sort of opening. And the sliding kind of track seems to be going in there.
Let us journey towards the room.
Before we
Should we-
journey, are there
wait.
any rocks on the ground I can pick up and put in my hand?
Sure. Yeah.
I want to do that. I want to put a rock in my right hand.
Okay. All right.
Whoa. Are you sure right hand? I mean, left hand? Right
Absolutely.
hand? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm
You
gonna
wanna
draw my
sit-
sword.
On your left hand, so it goes numb before
I
you.
have it.
Yeah, that's.
It's
right.
like...
What'd you say?
I'm gonna pull my sword out.
All right. Sword out, rock in hand.
I summoned
Yeah.
the stranger.
I actually have two swords, short swords, so I'm pulling both of them out, both hands.
Yeah, I could just dual wield. Double piston chest.
You guys are standing still at the top of this thing.
Let's go
Can
in.
we let's venture in.
Okay. All right. I am gonna need everyone to give me a D20 roll.
Okay.
Plus
I don't have a
your
D20 with me. Is there an app?
perception. You can
Here.
do it on
App
the
I
app.
can do?
I can roll.
I got a thing for you. Hold on. Let me drop it in Wait, can I do a Discord chat in here? Yes, there is a way. Oh, oh.
Yeah, it's in. You do an escape once, and it'll put us in the chat.
Yeah, I don't have any dice. If I need to order some off Amazon, I can.
I just typed here.
Alibaba.
Micah,
There you go.
he just posted it. He just posted.
I got these from like a
D20. Roll one.
comic store.
There you go.
No, I got the whole set, but the whole set was $4, so this
All
is
right.
not gonna
D20.
I rolled an 11.
D20. 11? Okay.
I rolled a 12.
10.
I'm not kidding. I rolled a 20 and I screenshot it because I don't know if I did it wrong.
No, it's fine. Like it just
You just hit
happens.
the roll
All
button.
right. Plus your dexterity. I need a dexterity.
Yep.
In
added
addition to that?
In addition to that.
So the dexterity modifier or the
Modifier.
dexterity value?
Whoa.
Modifier.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, that makes it
The
12.
modifier would be where it says right next to it.
Plus whatever.
Mine's -1.
Okay.
Ooh, wreck.
My
All right, so just give me the totals. So
Oh,
Borg, you're
11
what?
for Daniel
12.
or Donnie.
Okay.
12.
12, 11.
13.
Okay.
And this is total
So, yeah.
roll plus floor. Yeah.
Modifier.
24. 24.
So Trig feels a little something against his leg.
Oh,
And realizes that it is some kind of wire. He slowly leans forward, like turtles up, and just kind of flops on the other side. He figures that, maybe you guys are gonna catch on to this. You do not, and the three of you just break through this wire, right?
So we didn't check for traps. Got it.
Did not
Okay.
check for traps, which is the first rule of D&D. So
I saw her. She's on there.
It's too late. Can't take it back.
Forever. Facial recognition. Facial
All right.
recognition.
This is a pretty shitty trap, and basically it just pulls some rocks off the side that come kind of swooping down into you guys, and each of you take 3 points of damage.
Okay.
Whew.
All right, so you are in charge of keeping track of your hit points.
Damn
All right,
almost.
so damn, I'm down to 6. I went from 9 to 6.
Okay, so this is why we need
Yes.
healing, right? Okay,
Okay.
That's why we should check for traps. We have
Right,
we have
and-
the abilities.
right, and we're checking for traps, and you have to say things like, "I want to check for traps."
I
And
want
we-
to have a trap.
Okay, because the check for that was pretty low, in the hopes that someone would say they were checking for traps.
Trey,
Okay.
that's your job.
That's not
So-
bad.
So you walk into the room, and it is a bigger room, about the size of that first room that you were in. Let's call it 10 feet by 15 feet, and there is kind of just this mound of shit in the corner, about 7 feet high, 6 feet wide, and kind of slumped around those that mound of shit. There is like this weird gelatinous type, or these weird gelatinous type mobs. So there are 4 gelatinous creatures off in the corner around this shit, and then there's some other.
Do they see us yet?
Yeah, are they focusing on it?
Yeah, dude. You
We
tripped a
trapped it.
wire and like a bunch of rocks fell down.
We lost all
turtle-
initiative on the.
A turtle kind of jumped and like rolled into the room. So yeah, they see you and they're not real thrilled, and they're about 15 feet away.
Trey, do you have any
Oh,
knives?
it's
or anything in
initiative,
your
right?
hand?
I do. Can I throw my rock to see if it's?
Wait, are we rolling for initiative?
We are rolling for initiatives. Hold on one
Okay,
second.
so it's begun.
I think we should kick Trick towards them. With the
Yeah,
knife.
like a turtle shell, like a red
Oh
shell.
yeah, like a red shell. Is your shell red?
Homing. It's homing.
Okay.
First place killer. I was gonna throw my rock at them. To
So
see if it's
we are
stuck,
all
to see if
15
we
feet
should
from them right now.
use weapon. or not.
Ryan's 15 feet, and you guys are varying between like 15 and 20 feet.
Okay,
Depending on kind of how you
but
flop.
one turn of movement.
Huh? What?
One
Say
turn of one turn of
One turn
movement.
movement.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So it doesn't look like they're real quick, but you guys are decent. So
Yeah.
let's roll for initiative. So everyone kind of roll a d20 for
A
me.
D20 again.
What do we add to that, Sean?
I don't think you rolled. you
It
had anything
says
for
it says on my
initiative.
character sheet I got +2 to end it. Yeah.
Oh, really? You rolled? You
Yeah.
had, okay. All right.
Where do you
that's
see
fine.
that?
I don't
Initiative?
see the initiative.
Well, I use a Google sheet for this. It's the Dex mod.
That's
It's the Dex
insight.
mod.
We probably should be using all the same at the
Yeah,
same
you think
app,
you're
I would think.
pretty fucking
Yeah.
cool, huh?
Oh, initiative. Dan, it's top left next to HP. Add +4 to initiative.
Does your
Oh,
Dex
yeah.
also have +4?
My guess sucks. I got -1. I'm 9.
It's basically your dex. Your modifier for dex is
Dex
your modifier.
modifier,
for
yeah.
Okay.
Dex modifiers initiative. Okay, let me add that in here. Hold on. Weep,
That's what it looks like.
All right.
All
I
right.
want to get chat back in this Discord so I can.
Mine is
I
only a 6, so 10 with my modifier.
All right. 9 for me.
10,
7.
9,
Donnie.
9,
Or Bronny,
Yeah.
I should say.
7.
His name.
10, 9, 9, 7. Right? Was that what we got?
Yeah.
Yep.
10, 9,
Okay.
yeah.
Uh,
I don't know about Trig, but you're fooled.
Booked. I want to get chat back in this window. I don't know how.
You just have to click on it, escape out. Chat pops up at the bottom.
There it is.
okay.
All
Um,
F4 board.
So they are 15 feet away. They all go before you guys.
Oh, great.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and they have a speed of 10.
Fat
so
gelatinous
they-
bastards.
The 4 of them are
So
all
3
moving,
times as slow.
on kind of in mass towards you guys, and they get 5 feet away from Ryan.
And these are gelatinous cubes.
They're just some gelatinous thing. You don't know.
No one said they were cubes. We haven't. Let's check to see if they're cubes.
You just want to roll a geometry check.
Geometry check.
Nice.
Nice.
So
Ice
you
cream
can
bar.
do-
I was getting one of those earlier.
Hold on.
I'm gonna
Haagen-Dazs.
reward myself with some ice cream pie.
Where's-
after this.
Where are proficiencies, Eric? Do you remember?
On what?
Just
Yeah.
just a list of proficiencies.
I'm looking at them. I see my armor, my weapon, and my tool proficiencies on my app.
No, I don't. Not quite that. I'm talking about just the list of
proficiencies?
all the different kinds of proficiencies. Like,
In that document you shared, you can search it. You know, so you search for proficiencies.
yeah.
Though none of the titles are searchable, only the actual content text is.
Found
searchable.
player handbook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean like I know weapon proficiencies?
I almost spilled my whole drink on myself.
No, I mean like
Acrobatics,
like a religion
animal
check,
handling,
acrobatics,
yeah.
all
Yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
all those.
Did
Okay.
you say Angela?
Angela.
Angela, maybe.
I said animal
I'm
handling. I can handle these animals. Are they animals? A cube's animals?
That's my whole character.
I just want like a whole list.
I can handle you. I can
Yeah.
handle you.
Whoa, Trig, how'd you
I
do
can
that?
hell.
Excel.
Oh, you did.
Acrobatics, etc. Right?
Yeah.
Snippy it tool.
Sneaky, yeah.
That's I just pasted all my shit
There's
in.
Snippy tool. I use it every day.
MS Paint for life.
Paint.
All right, I don't care.
You remember
If
that
someone
job we had?
wants to tell me what proficiencies you guys have. If you want to do a check to see if you know what this is, it would be some sort of like nature check or something, I guess.
Okay.
Who has the highest nature proficiency?
Nature?
Not me.
No.
No.
Hang on.
I have acrobatics.
Hold
Where's
on.
nature? Oh, I have +1.
D.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have a survival proficiency. If that.
I do
Nah,
too.
that's not gonna do it. No, that's not gonna do it.
Actually, I do have nature. Well, it's not. I mean,
I have perception and animal handling.
Nah, that's not gonna do it.
yeah. I do a nature proficiency check.
All right. Roll a d20 for me and add your proficiency.
All right. 15.
Yeah. So you think this is some sort of ooze.
It's an ooze, guy. Oh, sorry. It
an ooze.
ooze. Doger oozes.
So these shouldn't be like too big of a problem for you guys, but it'll take a little bit of doing. They're gray in color, and so you think these are gray oozes. They can kind of manipulate their bodies to like move through holes that are super small, or fill a hole that's super wide, like Dan's mom.
Yes.
That's pretty wide. How are they able to manage that?
Yeah,
That's
like the
amazing.
Grand Canyon.
Shit.
All right.
Oh, we just lost the follower, Dan. It was your mom. We just lost.
Burned.
Stop following.
You're thinking that that spells are going to be a little bit better here than weapons, but it shouldn't be too bad. Okay.
Who goes next?
These look pretty small too. So the four of them go, and then whoever rolled a 10, who was that?
Me.
Who rolled a 10? That was Dan.
Dan, do the first damage ever.
On our first roll, I thought I rolled a. What did I roll? I don't remember.
You got a 9.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I had a 9. You
Who
had a
got
9.
this? Who got the 7? Eric got the 7.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Borg? Okay.
Borg got 7.
So
Wait, I rolled a 10. I rolled a 6 plus my dex modifier of 4.
Wait,
okay.
what'd you roll?
All
to?
right. I got this. All right.
A 6 plus 4.
It's the oozes,
All right.
and
think
then
that's what I'm in.
Hopi.
Yeah.
Hopi Lope
That's me.
is next.
In the wood.
All right, and then we got Dan. We got Bronny. And then we got Doger. And then we got Hoffenpfeffer.
Gaylord, Hoffenpfeffer.
We're gonna go with Hoffenpfeffer for this part.
Don't forget
Thank you for
Quinn.
not calling me crescendo.
Quinn.
All right. So So Ryan, you are up.
I want to take part in some of my equipment and put a dagger in my left and right hand after I drop the rock. Is that an action?
That's a bonus action.
You're gonna
Yeah,
throw the rock?
You can still do something with it.
You're gonna throw the rock.
I'll go ahead and throw the rock at him just as a quick action. I want to see if it sticks through, if it goes right through, if it sticks.
Okay, yeah,
inside.
it just kind of sticks and like absorbs into him. Doesn't seem to bother him a whole lot.
Oof.
Okay. I want to pull both daggers out, and then I'm going to retreat into my shell. Retreat is an action.
Okay, so you're retreating into your shell. You got both daggers. You retreated into your shell.
Yeah.
And
My speed is 0 at the moment.
yeah, they seem to. Not
Hopefully they absorb me. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
All right, Bernie Docro, you're up.
So my equipment, I have a pouch.
Mhm.
Can I define what's in there?
I mean, I think what's in there is whatever you put in there, right? I mean, I think it's just something to hold
Yep.
shit, right?
Yeah,
Not
so
like-
I'm thinking.
As long as that
Magic
fits.
pouch.
So he said that this is gonna be more of a spell type thing.
Uh-huh.
He takes a
But
bunch
not
of Pokemon
completely.
cards.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe like if they're like immune, like if they can get hurt by salt, maybe like a slug.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yes.
Do you have salts?
I mean,
Yes. Bath salts, absolutely.
He's asking, can he add it? Can it be part of
well, I
his
mean, I have a
pouch?
pouch. Do I need to specify what's in that pouch before they engage?
You're not fucking Mary Poppins. You gotta have a
Smelling-
specific
Alright.
thing in the pouch.
I will say that you've got some salt, because you guys are going to
Fuck
be
yes.
cooking and shit along the ways. So,
All right, there you go.
Fuck yeah.
And a
right, so
refrigerator.
you're
I
gonna
pull,
toss-
I pull salt out of my pouch and I toss it on them 4 bitches.
all right.
So good.
Yeah, I
Yes,
just spray my salt
absolutely.
all over them.
Salt bay
Okay.
it.
Can you do
Or
some sort
D12?
of do it? No, I'm not doing it. First, we're going to do a check. So, roll a d20 for me.
that's a 12.
Okay, so that's a 12. And what's your dex modifier?
-1.
Okay.
God damn.
All right.
Yeah.
So you take a big handful of salt and you fling it into the air, and it just kind of dissipates, and nothing seems to happen.
Into your eyes.
Yeah, you just got a little salt. Just like I don't know, one of them burps,
Back
and
in
blows it
your
all
face.
back. So yeah.
Okay.
All right. So that is
Yeah,
that is
I
your
mean,
turn.
we're in a cave.
We'll
I
learn
wouldn't
something here
expect
today.
any wind to be in a cave. But,
Yeah,
yeah.
they farted. They farted, man.
Dragon's
Okay,
breath. Dragon's breath.
The old news for it. All right, who's up next?
You did throw it real well.
Yeah,
Okay.
there is like a.
Is that
So that was Bronny. So Doger.
I need to be rookie of the year.
All right.
This one.
Loaded.
So I have a hunter's trap that's on a chain,
Fuck yeah.
but instead of
What?
a hunter's trap
Like a
that's
throw
on
it
a
and pull it
chain,
back.
Okay.
but instead of setting it up as a traditional trap, I'm just gonna swing that motherfucker around in the air and,
Until it clings.
and go towards him.
Until it clings. Absolutely.
Do you have
Sean, you're
any-
gonna love my turn. You're gonna love
Oh
my
my
turn. I
God.
promise.
Do you have any kind of like damage that is attached to
Clings.
doing that?
So a traditional
Do like
hunter, a traditional hunter's trap does 1d4 when it traps something, and that is a continual 1 damage until it's free. But I would imagine as it's spinning above my head, it would be like bludgeoning damage, similar
alright.
to my club, which is 1d4 plus 4. So I don't know how
Okay.
you want to figure that in.
So roll to attack for me.
All right, is that a 20?
That's a 20.
All right, 17.
Okay, so 17 plus your Jesus.
All that nip.
Plus your strength.
What's my strength? So 19.
19. Did Dan just pee outside?
Yeah, I did. I was making. I did my hand like this. Y'all couldn't see it. So we're good.
Oh God. All right. Okay. So
Listen. Time out. There's nothing more manly than just pissing where the fuck you want to piss.
That's true.
That's what we do. Like that's one of the best.
Really?
things we have.
Because
in
if
this
I piss right here in my pants in my seat, there's nothing manly about that. So.
that is awesome.
And that's where
Alright.
I want to piss.
All right.
that's where you
So Doger walks
so
up,
warm.
pulls in a stroke of fucking genius for someone who's not so smart, says, "I'm going to take this this freaking hunter's trap on a chain, swing around, hit him with it with a flail type thing. You hit them. It's what was it? 1d4 plus 4.
Yeah, or
Okay.
however you want to calculate it.
And you're just gonna hit the closest one to you. So you hit for 5 damage.
Okay.
All right.
That's all right. That's okay.
That's okay.
Okay. And so also because it's news, I'm gonna be generous here. So it hits him, and then kind of lays on him, and then slowly sinks into him, and the trap goes off inside him. So the trap is stuck inside. The trap is trapped inside the ooze, goes off,
Makes sense.
and it does another 3 damage.
I have a question. Does the
Yeah.
ooze know that they need to stop fighting at 10:30 because we have to go to bed?
It does not know that. It does not know that.
Okay.
It's 10:30. All the oozes die. Loot appears.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
ooze was not.
It does. It is interesting you bring that up though, because at 10:30, what happens is it's a false wall that just falls forward, and a little gnome comes out and says like, "If you motherfuckers hadn't taken so long sharing your stories, we'd have more time to fight." And then goes back in. And all right.
Trigg, what is that?
It's a pillow. Look at this shit.
Oh, nice.
I thought it was a chair. This whole time I thought it was a chair.
I thought it was a chair too.
Oh,
It's a thingy pillow.
it's like movie
Okay,
magic.
so
It's a
we're-
sex wedge.
We're almost 2 hours in, and you guys have done
Jack and shit.
one
8
attack.
points of damage.
Out of
I just wanna
8,000,
point out-
so we're not doing
Okay.
too good.
It is Hoffenpfeffer's turn.
All right, I just want to point out that our first quest together, in our first dungeon together, with Sean's first DM together, we've got a turtle who's like, I'm going to run up at him, drop my rock, and shell.
Fuck yes.
And our ranger's like, my dexterity sucks. And our ogre's like, I take a trap, which is, typically placed in advance of an encounter. And it's attached to a chain, and I swing it around my head like a skip it. But I don't have to jump over it because it's over my head.
That's a
What kind
bop.
of damage does that do, Mr. Experienced DM?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
right.
dude, how about I cast Eldritch Blast?
God.
Which is what I do right now at the nearest ooze for 1d10 force damage. Do it!
All right, so Eldritch Blast, we decided it... Does it hit automatically? No, Hex hits automatically. Eldritch Blast...
You still have to do like a... Was it wisdom check?
So yeah, a charisma check. So do a charisma check.
Wait. Would you allow me to change my course of action?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. There's 4 of these things. I do want to hex the first one.
Okay. Do you want to hex this? So the first one is the one that Micah just hit.
Yeah, I want to do one that's not taking any damage.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna hex the one on the far right.
Okay, far right.
All right. So he is hexed.
Okay.
And then what are you? And then you're gonna do your Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast on that.
Okay. All right. So can you roll a d20 for me, plus your charisma modifier?
Why is
I don't think charisma's added yet. It's a 13.
You had charisma to the hit.
On hit, yeah, okay. It's 6.
On hit.
I have +6 on hit, so it's a 19.
God damn.
All right.
I mean, it's a hit. It's a hit.
If anyone happens to know, if anyone's watching this and we're doing this wrong, that seems crazy, but that's what we got. So
6 to hit?
you just nail him dead.
Wait, it's not damage though, right?
I know.
Okay.
You nail him. So a little bit of light comes from your hands, and then a bolt of fire shoots out, hits him square, like right above the balls.
Whereas Jimmy would be if he
All
had
right,
Jimmy.
and it's 1d10. You said.
Yeah. So the hex itself. So the Eldritch Blast is 1d10.
Okay. So I
And then
guess
because I hit-
6. All right, 6 points of damage there.
I hit the hex target, which is additional 1d6.
Jesus. And 3.
And 1, and 2, and 3, and 1.
How are you getting the +6 hit?
Because it's hexed.
Oh, okay. So hex is easier to hit.
From spell. No. Spell attack is +6, which is the proficiency of my charisma mod.
But you get to hex or debuff and cast on the same turn.
Yeah, because Hex is actually a bonus. It's a bonus action, so you get an action and a bonus action.
Got it.
So he can Hex, and then this is kind of the Warlock thing. He
Situation.
can Hex and do this, yeah.
It's good in
All
the early levels, tapers off. And then
Yeah.
later levels.
Okay. All right. So you guys have hit 2. It's looking a little more, a little better. That the 2 on the outsides kind of seem to be hurting a little bit. It is now their turn. So the one that Micah hit is going to try to hit Micah. He is what's your AC, Micah?
It is.
Doger.
Yeah. 12.
Okay. So.
Sorry, real quick. How do you calculate AC?
Armor class?
It's just up there.
Right, it's right below your HP.
Everyone
I see
has
it.
everyone has base 10, but there's other stuff like clothes and other stuff. Light armor adds to it.
Leather armor is 11, and your dex modifier is added to that. If that's what
Yeah.
you are.
So
Yeah,
I just have like
so
Yeah,
Wanderer's.
Eternal's different. We just talked about it.
Yeah, I have
I'm
Wanderer's
good.
clothes, which is just base armor class plus dex, so 12.
Okay. So what was your AC?
12.
Okay. So he does hit you. He kind of oozes up and then rears back and slaps you with like this flaccid type thing.
Oh no, I'm getting dick
and
slapped.
You take 2 points of damage.
Oh dear.
All right.
What do you have?
how close is
What do you have,
is
Micah?
Doger to Brawny?
How close is Doger to Brawny?
Yeah. Who with all of his salt, which is on the ground now.
He's got more salt. You're gonna have
Okay.
a hard time scooping salt up from the bottom. These are not slugs,
Okay.
right? So it's not clear that the
Okay.
salt thing's gonna work.
All right.
And but you guys
One or
can
two
try-
more tries. One or two more.
You can
Yeah.
try the salt thing if you
Again.
wanted.
Just dump the whole
I have a
bag on.
shovel.
The second
Switch
one,
to pepper.
the second one does the same thing. It kind of rears up and falls on Hopi. It does it hits but does no damage. But it's kind of laying half on you, half off you because it's a little gelatinous. So when you come out, you might come out guns a-blazing because you've got your daggers.
Fucking
Okay.
daggers.
All right.
Wait. Come on.
Okay. All right, and then the third one is gonna also go for Micah.
Doger.
Doger. Sorry, God, I gotta get these right. And it misses. So it just kind of like oozes up this kind of flaccid bat, kind of limp dick thing, and just slaps down and just totally whiffs it. Hits the ground, doesn't do a whole lot. And then the last one does the exact same thing. So Micah's kind of in the front. And Brawny is still a good ways back, like maybe 7 feet. Let's see, Brawny is in the back. Hoffenpfeffer is even further back, like maybe 10 feet away.
Just taking his time, this sweet old
You guys are in
time.
front. All right, so Hopi Lopi.
Hopi Lope.
You are in your shell, and you've got this dude kind of on top of you.
I'm gonna take.
Who has the torch right now? Micah does. I mean,
Yep. Doger's got the
Doki.
torch out,
Doger.
torching it up.
I'm gonna take the poop and the scoop and plow
Uh-huh.
right through. Plow right
Okay.
through.
All right.
Plow it. Just plow it.
Oh, yeah. You need to roll. Can you roll a d20 for me?
Absolutely.
Plus your dexterity
I
modifier.
rolled a 1,
Oh,
and
God.
my dexterity modifier is a 4, so I get a 5.
Okay. All right. So here's how this goes.
But one critical.
It's like,
You are in there, and you are super fucking pumped, and you think, dude, this is gonna be great, right? And you kind of get overexcited, right? And instead of your arms coming out, they slice in, and you hit yourself. You slice into yourself with both daggers, and you do 3 points of damage to yourself, right?
Stop hitting yourself.
So-
Stop hitting yourself.
Come in
So-
yourself.
No one else knows what happened. They just hear.
Fuck it.
They just.
And that's
hear
what matters.
Is
kinda
here the
doing like a shuffle his feet in there, and then do exactly that. Okay.
Nice.
Or,
and-
ooh, ow, 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 ooh, 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 ow, ow.
All right. So that was Hopi. We are
That was
on.
great. That was excellent.
We're on to Brawny.
All right. So salt didn't work. I'm
I like
thinking
it.
that.
I like it.
Is
Can I
that
ask?
Peppa?
Can I ask Doger to throw the torch at him?
You
Good.
can. He'll throw it on his turn. You still have an action. So I mean, it's not. I mean, keep in mind that he damaged with the trap.
All right.
Non-magical. He just might not have done as much as he would have.
Gotcha.
Your plan for
So-
your turn was to have somebody else do something?
Well, they're gelatinous. When you
good
make
rule.
Jello, it requires cold. Throw fire on them.
Like, hey,
Melt.
you look like you're doing a great job over there. No, just keep it up. I'm gonna go sit in the corner. I think these are
I'm
like
gonna-
gelato monsters anyway. You just smell them with your torch.
And Doger, I'm gonna have you come in on Saturday.
Go ahead.
All right,
Do they
Brawny,
have
what are you
heads?
doing? They have mouths and eyes, but they seem to kind of moves around a bit.
Gotcha.
Kind of divides and read.
I'm gonna take both of my swords and aim at both their eyes.
Okay. You've got 4 in a row across the front. So the 2 on the outer sides have been hit. The other ones have. The 2 in the middle have not. One of those.
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for me.
The 20.
A d20.
I got a 14. What do I need to look at? to
Now,
add
what
or-
do you add to your attack? Are you strength, dexterity? I guess dexterity. I'm going to add dexterity. I'm going to figure that
Actually,
out.
I'm strength based because I am dual wielding mercenary. No, I guess that would be dexterity because dexterity was dual
That's kinda
wielding
what-
in all our
that's really the
games.
same. All right, so let's just call it dexterity. I'll try to figure that out.
All right,
so
unfortunately,
dexterity's
I'm minus one.
All right, so
Yeah,
what was
so
your
I'll be
roll?
13.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, no, I was 14, but minus one will be
13. Yeah. Okay. So you hit them. You don't exactly hit them in the eyes, but you hit them kind of close with both. And what do your swords do? What's their damage?
Where do I find that?
Should be your equipment listed out.
Is it a short sword, a long sword? What is it?
My equipment. Hang on. They're short swords. There are
That's
2 of
1d6,
them.
For like a 1d6, I think.
I don't know. I don't know where I look in this app to see where the.
I'm Googling it.
It's 10:30 by the way. So
I know.
All right.
I'm getting some
1d6.
messages.
It's
1d6. All right, so you do 2 damage. Okay, so you do. Okay. All right, you do 6 points of damage.
Heyo.
Nice. Better than salt.
Better than
Better than
salt.
salt. Better than salt. Okay. You guys can probably do this in one more round, and then we'll. Can we do one more round, and then you can search the room and we'll be done for tonight?
Yeah. If we
I
do it
can.
quickly.
Do you have time for that or no?
Yeah, if we just
Okay.
wrap it up quick.
Gotta go quick. Okay. All right. So that was Bronny's. We got Doger. Doger, what are you gonna do?
All right.
You got your trap still inside him.
Yeah, Doger heard Bronny say something about him needing a torch, so Doger's gonna throw the torch at Bronny.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
All right. It's 10.
Okay. So you're gonna throw this. You miss. Luckily, you miss Bronny, but the torch is laying on the ground. All right.
Okay.
So there you go.
And now I'm gonna dig in, heels in the ground, pull with all my might on that trap to just rip it through the ooze.
Okay. I'm not gonna roll a d20 on that because there's no way that doesn't hit. I guess maybe if you like flip on the thing. Yeah, you're good. Okay. So you pull that out. So before you do, the thing goes off again. What was it? A 1d4?
It's a one. Yeah, it's a
The trap
1d4.
does?
Yeah.
Okay. So the trap does 1 more point of damage. And then it was 1d4 plus 4, right?
Yeah, for bludgeoning.
Okay, so it's gonna come ripping out. That guy just fucking deflates.
Yes.
Right, it just kind of oozes
3
down.
left?
You got 3 left. One of which looks like it's not doing great. One's not been hit, and one's kind of doing decently. All right, and we've got Hoffenpfeffer.
All right. I would like to cast Eldritch Blast at my hexed target.
Text, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Roll a d20 for me.
D20 to hit. Got 3
Ooh,
plus my
no.
6 is a 9.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right, so it hits him again. So that's a d10. And then the 1d6. That dude does not deflate. He explodes. And just disgusting, like, ichor goes everywhere. He explodes so hard that it blasts the guy next to him. The guy next to him takes a little damage too.
Nice.
And because of Dark One's blessing, I gain temporary hit points equal to my charisma modifier plus a warlock level.
Okay.
So I get 5 temporary hit points.
Woo! All right.
12.
Nice. And you can move your hex.
Yes. To the highest health target, please.
There you go. Okay.
And he'd like to buy a vowel.
I'm gonna do. Miss. Okay, so the first one rears up and tries to hit Micah since he's closest. It does not do that. Does not work. Kind of limp dicks it again on the ground. The second one is trying to hit Dan, and it is successful. And does 4 points of damage
Oh, shit, son.
to Bronny.
Wow, sir.
I got 2 hit points left.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then
Like we need healing this party.
Bronny's made of paper towels over there.
so that last one is super confident that this time it's going to work. Rears up and flops onto Ryan, who never got his arms out, and so does not take any damage other than the self-inflicted damage.
Hilarious.
And it is Ryan. It is Hopi's turn.
Hope lope.
Hopi,
You're muted.
you're muted.
You're muted. Oh,
You're
he's muted.
God
Guns
damn.
blazing.
Guns blazing.
Guns blazing. All right,
Daggers
so
blazing in the
roll
forehead
a
again.
D20 for me. Roll a D20 for me.
1.
Roll the 1. You're fucked.
Roll. Fucking right. 23. That was my +4 modifier.
Okay. All right.
Eat a D.
Damn.
And these are with your daggers. What are your daggers? 1d4s?
Oh shit. 1 second. Checking tool. It doesn't say.
We're gonna call it a
Here's
1d4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it.
I don't see it.
1d6
Oh wait. Sorry.
plus 2.
It says +6. 1d4 +4. That's
Yeah,
what does that
1d4
mean?
plus 4 is typical.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that dude's completely dead.
Piercing.
So you come tearing up out of your shell,
Just fucking.
guns ablazing, and you're just kind of like dicing up the insides,
Leonardo style.
Julianing
Sushi.
and onion and stuff. And he just kind of falls to pieces, right? Like that cartoon, like you cut up a cut the Roadrunner, and he's like standing there, and then kind of slips off into slices. So that dude's good too.
Good.
All right.
2 left.
Yep.
One hadn't been hit, and the other one has taken.
Okay.
damage.
Bronny, they've both been hit.
Okay. I want to attack the one that has the lowest amount of hit points left.
Okay. All right. That's the one to your kind of in front of you to your left.
Is he also hexed?
No. Roll
Okay.
a d20. Roll a d20 for me.
I want to do the whole sword thing where the whole scissor.
Uh-huh.
I'll
Sure.
try to chop his head off.
Okay. All right.
Scissors.
All right. Roll a d20 for me.
The ooze head.
15.
15. All right. And
I have my swords are +4, and then it's 1d6 +2.
okay.
Bronny leaps on him, begins scissoring furiously, and then he uses his swords.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, like so many pornographic movies, you come scissoring in and just straight up slice the thing in half. You had a guess on the head because the head's not like really apparent. It does slice in half. So you've got one left, and this thing doesn't really have facial expressions, but as much as it does not look very confident.
I love it, Sean.
It's Doger's turn left.
All right.
One in front of you.
Can I ask you this? Can I ask you this really quick? What does an attack bonus mean? I think that was Ryan's question too.
Yeah,
right?
so the attack bonuses, I think that's what we're supposed to be adding, right? And the attack bonus adds in the relevant modifier.
So that's an additional modifier to hit then?
Yeah, it's a hit.
Okay. So it's much
Okay, so
easier
roll-
to hit than with the trap slinging. That's what
Yeah.
I think.
Yes.
All right.
So you are holding the chain. You've got your chain and trap.
All right. I'm going to tuck that bitch back in a sack, and I'm going to invite this last ooze to the book club. I'm going to take out my iron-bound book, and I'm going to ram up and just smack it as hard as I can.
All right. Roll a d20 for me.
Yeah.
So good.
Roll an attack roll.
Where's my dice? Oh, wrong tab. Oh, wrong tab again.
Nope.
Okay. I'm going to roll this for you.
No, I got it.
You.
I got it. Roll d20. I got it. All right. So it's a 10 plus what? The 6 attack modifier?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and so you hit him. What does your book do?
It's
this
one
weird
1d4 plus 4.
1d4 plus 4. Okay, yeah, and you straight up clock him with your book, and just rip the thing in half. Like it's with a Jello. If you were to like kind of hold it outside, it would slowly start to kind of tear apart on the right side and kind of piece off. It basically does that, and so it splits into 2 fairly equal parts, but not like a straight line, not like the scissor.
Basically,
No
what's going to happen to
tickets.
you because you're 12 minutes late? That's what Ashley's going to do you.
I know. I'm already getting the messages. So.
Yeah, and so
Hey,
it
bitch.
slops over. All right, so congratulations, you've killed your first 4.
Yay!
You look around the room, and you see this kind of like pile of shit in the corner. That was obviously some sort of nest or something like that. But there's also a crate. Like clearly, someone stuck some shit back here and didn't do a whole lot with it. In there is a plate. There is a mug. There is a dagger that does not look to be in good shape, and there's also 3 bottles, 3 kind of potions that look inviting. You don't know what they are.
I could use one of them. I got 2
Our
hit
turtle
points
checks for traps.
Check for traps.
Check for traps.
I will roll on it.
Go ahead and roll for me.
All right. That's a +4 and roll. 23.
Okay, yeah. There were no traps in the room, and now you're really damn sure. And you're also sure that had there been traps in the room, like jumping around, hitting shit probably would have set the trap off. So
We loot
no
and
traps.
pillage.
You loot and pillage, and instead of maybe drinking a potion, I'm just going to have you guys do a little short rest, and we'll pick up there next week. So over 2 hours, and we killed 4 guys, and you made it roughly 45 feet. So
Yeah.
we're going to try to speed this shit up
How
in
much?
the future.
How much do we get from a short rest?
I believe it's enough to heal you guys up.
To full?
At this stage, I think so. But
Okay.
I'll have to look at that and see. Just mark where you are.
Yeah, I got it, Mark. Just let me
and
know.
We'll do a
Are
little-
we ready
Cool.
for intro part 2 on when we start the next one? Like
Wait.
the second saga?
Shit. Yeah, I want to know about the rest of the family tree of Gaylord over there.
This is like the Phantom Menace. Like it's just the next and the next.
Oh, we should also check those bottles that we got for traps.
You should probably try to do some sort of check on the bottles to see if you can figure out what the fuck they are.
Yeah, we'll deal with that later. We'll deal with that.
Jar
Dan's
Jar
just gonna check them, so we're good.
All right,
All right, guys.
I'm ending it. And,
That was fun.
Okay.